Ladies and gentlemen, the online training course of development will start soon. Please make sure that you turn off your microphone as we will commence the training shortly. Excellency Ambassador Diar Nurbintoro, the Director for the Non-Aligned Movement Center for South-South Technical Cooperation, NAM CSSTC, Director for ATI Polytechnic Padang, Madam Esther Edward, Mr. Harry, the coordinator for Mr. Harry, the coordinator of Subdirectorate of America and Europe for International Development Cooperation, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, distinguished trainers, esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our online training. In this opportunity, we will have the opening session, and I would like to invite Ambassador Diar Nurbintoro to deliver remarks. Ambassador, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Niken. Honorable Deputy Director for International Development Cooperation, Mr. Hari, Honorable Director for ATI Polytechnic Padang, esteemed trainers, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Non-Aligned Movement Center for South-South Technical Cooperation, or we call NAM Center, I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to all participants of the online training coconut product training program for the Caribbean. This collaborative effort between NAM Center, the Ministry of Industry, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia reflects our shared commitment to fostering cooperation and empowerment among NAM member countries, including those in the Caribbean region. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, coconut often referred to as the tree of life, hold immense significance in our member countries. At the small scale, coconut can play a pivotal role in changing food security, and on an industrial level, coconut yield a wide array of products, including coconut oil, virgin coconut oil, or VCO, and Nata de coco, which are consumed regionally and internationally. These versatile products are used in various industries, from food and cosmetics to detergents and beyond. The aim of the training program in the equip you with the knowledge and skills needed to develop and produce these coconut-based products. While we may be conducting the training, hold on. Hold on. The aim of the training program to equip you with the knowledge and skills needed to develop and produce these coconut-based products. While we may be conducting the training online via Zoom, rest assured that the effectiveness of the training remains undiminished. In fact, the virtual format estimated geographical barriers and allows us to reach our Caribbean member countries more efficiently than ever before. It also enables interactive engagement through quizzes and multimedia presentation, ensuring your active participation. Moreover, this online format facilitates streamlined progress tracking and data generation, enhancing the overall training experiences. As we delve into the economic benefit of coconuts, let us not forget their cultural significance in Caribbean cuisine, where coconut-derived ingredients are integral to many dishes and delicacies. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, through this program, you can expect to gain insight into coconut oil by learning the process of extracting oil from coconuts and discover its wide-ranging application from cooking to skincare with numerous health benefits. Second, virgin coconut oil. By exploring the unique production method that retain the natural goodness and flavor of coconuts, This product is renowned for its potential health benefits. Third, Nata de coco. By diving into the process of fermenting and cultivating this chewy, translucent jelly-like substance made from fermented coconut water, Nata de coco is a delightful addition to desserts and beverages. The knowledge of and skill you acquire during this training will undoubtedly prove beneficial in both your professional and personal life. For farmers, it offers opportunities to enhance production technique and add value to your coconut products, ultimately increasing your income. Business persons will gain valuable insight into market demand, trends, and networking opportunities that can pave the way for collaboration and business growth. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, our collaboration with the Minister of Industry has made this training accessible with minimal preparation requirement on your part. Simply ensure you have the necessary electronic equipment to attend live sessions and complete tests. I encourage you to actively engage by asking questions, providing feedback, and participating both through the live session and in our WhatsApp group to make this training dynamic and memorable. Honorable directors, deputy directors, esteemed trainers, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. In conclusion, our shared goal is to introduce biofuel, cooking oil, VCO, and cosmetic ingredients derived from coconut commodities to enhance value addition, employment opportunities, and diversification in Caribbean countries. Thank you for your time, and I'm engaging looking forward to the upcoming session. Together, we can unlock the potential of coconut for the benefit of our nation. Thank you. Good morning and good evening in Jakarta, Indonesia. Thank you, Niken.
Thank you, Ambassador Diarnudbipura, for very moving remarks. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Harry, who will represent the Director for International Development Cooperation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Harry, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, ma'am. A very good morning and evening to everyone present here today at the opening session of the Coconut Training Program for the Caribbean. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Harry Laksono, Deputy Director for American and European International Development Cooperation of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Madam Renata, Director for International Development Cooperation, will not be able to join us today and has asked me to convey her remarks as follows. His Excellency Ambassador Diar Nurbiantoro, Director of the Non-Aligned Movement Center for South-South and Technical Cooperation, Honorable Mr. Setioko Pramono, Division Head for Vocational Education Development, the Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia, Honorable Madam Esther Edward, Director of ATI Polytechnic Padang, distinguished guests, trainers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening from Jakarta. Allow me to first and foremost welcome all of you to this opening session of the Coconut Online Training Program for the Caribbean, a program made possible through the close collaboration between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, Ministry of Industry of Indonesia, and the Non-Aligned Movement Center for South-South Technical Cooperation. Despite being separated by screens and time differences, I am very pleased that we are able to be gathered here virtually to share a common purpose. This online platform allows us to connect across borders, a testament that the sharing of knowledge has no limits. Today, I'm also happy to greet and see participants from the Caribbean region, all of whom have joined us on this common journey. Your presence here today demonstrates the strength of collaboration and the importance of sharing knowledge amongst friends Together, we embark on a journey of learning, growth, and progress, with a common goal of empowering and enhancing the coconut industry in the Caribbean region. Ladies and gentlemen, as Ambassador Diar has mentioned earlier, coconut offers so many benefits, not only for its many uses in culinary applications, but also for its significant economic potentials. In this course, participants will explore the development process of 3 distinct coconut-based products, among them coconut oil, which is very famous for its culinary uses. Next, we have the virgin coconut oil, which is valued for its potential health benefits. And last but not least, a quite famous product, Nata de coco. Here in Indonesia and the Asian region, Nata de coco is an ingredient that we enjoy as part of our sweet beverages and desserts. In the coming days, experts from the ATI Polytechnic Padang will share their knowledge and expertise and on how to create the aforementioned coconut-based products, during which in the training, participants can expect a comprehensive overview of the products and will get the chance to participate actively in discussions throughout the course. Distinguished guests and participants, Indonesia is firmly committed to being part of and actively engaging in the global development through active contribution in the South-South cooperation. This cooperation plays a significant role in facilitating the exchange of knowledge and expertise across nations through various programs, projects, and initiatives. These collaborative efforts have successfully addressed specific challenges faced by countries in the Global South. In this context, the purpose of our online training program is to extend our support to coconut-producing countries in the Caribbean region. We aim to enhance understanding of coconut products, which potentially can develop skill and knowledge for business opportunities and expand the initiative for entrepreneurship. Not only that, this collaboration will also promote mutual growth and development among nations. Lastly, I kindly encourage all of you to freely give your suggestions for new possible programs that could receive support from the Indonesian government and the Non-Aligned Movement Center. Your ideas and collaborations, I am sure, will help strengthen further South-South cooperation and in part contribute to achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. I bid everyone participating in the training all the best and look forward to seeing your active role in the program. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Heri. Next to commence the training, I would like to invite Madam Esther Edward, the Director for ATI Polytechnic Padang. Madam Esther, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Niken. The Honorable Ambassador, Mr. Diar Nurbiantoro, Coordinator of KSPI America and European Regional Function, Mr. Heri Laksono, distinguished guests and participants. Good morning, everyone, and good evening to my colleagues from Indonesia. It is my honor to welcome you all to this training session. First of all, let me introduce myself and my institution. My name is Esther Edward, Director of Polytechnic ATI Padang, one of the vocational higher education under the Ministry of Industry of Indonesia. We are located in Sumatra Island, one of 5 big islands in Indonesia. We were very pleased to be involved in this training, where we can share our knowledge and skills to you all. As you may find out that coconut is also one of our commodities, and there are a lot of products that can be made from coconut. In this training, you will be assisted by our lecturers that already conduct research and production on coconut. And we have proposed 3 valuable products that can be made from coconut. There are CCO, coconut oil, and VCO, virgin coconut oil, and Nata de coco. All of these 3 products is proof to have a good added value. Although this time the training will be held online, I hope you can find it as good thing to be practiced. Our trainers have already prepared modules and videos in order to make it more understandable and easy to apply. If there are things you don't understand, please do not hesitate to ask and contact us. And of course, I will be more than happy to welcome you to our campus, if possible, next year in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia, to conduct practical activities in this program. And finally, I will take this opportunity to thank Ministry of Foreign Affairs and NAM CSSTC, who gave this interesting training to us to be conducted. Please enjoy the training. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Esther, and thank you for affirming the commitment that the participants who participate in this online training will be invited to Indonesia in the upcoming years. So participants, we will have a virtual photo opportunity. Please turn on your camera briefly. Okay, wow. Thank you. Don't be shy. Let us see your beautiful faces and your gorgeous faces, please. Okay. Okay, we are still waiting for more participants to turn on your camera. You can do so by, you can do so by tapping on the video camera button. Usually it's on the bottom of your screen. Okay, I will begin counting from 3 to 1 and Mr. Suroso will take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next slide. 3, 2, 1. One more time. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Okay, so once again, I would like to thank Ambassador Diar and Mr. Harry, and of course, Madam Edward for opening the training officially. And for the next session, there will be a pre-test. So I would like to invite colleagues from the AT Polytechnic Padang to lead the session, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Niken, for bringing us to a very productive session today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our session is about to begin. Please have a nice seat. Thank you. Good evening from Indonesia and good morning for our friends in Caribbean countries. Welcome to the Coconut Training Programs for the Caribbean. I'm Rosalina, one of your trainers. I also would like to greet the Distinguished Director of Non-Aligned Movement Center for South Technical Cooperation, Mr. Diar Nurbintoro, the Distinguished Coordinator of KSPI American and European Regional Function, Mr. Harry, our Distinguished Director of Polytechnic AT Padang, Mrs. Esther Edward. Thank you for your valuable time to join in this event. Ladies and gentlemen, this executive training is held in collaboration with Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Ministry of Industry of the Republic of Indonesia, and NAM CSSTC. In this first day training, we will discuss about diversification of coconut product and Nata de coco production. All right, and this occasion, we have several trainers who will handle the training. The first, Dr. Mariam, Bachelor's in Agricultural Engineering, Master's in Agriculture, specializing in agro-industrial engineering. She also managed the business incubator unit along with her teams. And we have Mrs. Irna Ekawati, Bachelor in Science, Master's in Engineering, specializing in agro-industrial engineering. She ever research about copra supply chains in Mentawai Islands and other agro-related commodities. And we also have Mrs. Gustiarini Rika Putri, Master in Agriculture, specializing in food processing, including coconut milk. And we have Mrs. Hairun Nadia, Master in Engineering, specializing in agro-industrial engineering. And I myself, Rosalina, Master in Engineering, specializing in bioprocess technology for renewable energy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we will divide the training into two sessions. The first session will be about 30 minutes explanation about coconut and their diversifications and by Mrs. Irna Ekawati and Mrs. Nadia. And the second session will cover the topic of Nata the coco and will be presented by Mrs. Mariam for about 40 minutes. After each trainer present their material, we will have discussions. So you can either raise your hand to ask question directly or just type your question in the chat. This discussion will be last for about 10 until 15 minutes. Before we begin the training, let's first take a pre-test related to the topic today. Ladies and gentlemen, please answer the questions in the pre-test link we sent through chat. You can see the pre-test link in the chat. Wait a moment. And if we can have 5 minutes until you fill out the questions. Okay, now we give the time for all of the participants to fill out the pre-test link. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have you all completed filling out the pretest link? Okay, thank you. Now we can immediately begin the first session on the topic of coconuts and their diversification. I invite Mrs. Irna to share her presentation. Mrs. Irna Ekawati, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Ocha. Can you hear my voice well? Okay. Good morning and good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Irna Ekawati. Me and my colleague will explain the introduction section for the training that we will carry out in the next 2 days. Okay. Is everybody can my screen? Okay. This section consists of 3 parts. The first is the coconut palm, about 3 physical description and global product of coconut. Then coconut product diversification. And last, analysis on designing a coconut agro-industry. Okay. In the first opportunity, I will ask you, please answer my question in the column. The question is, okay, what Coconut Day is celebrated every? Okay, please type your answer in the column, chat column, please. Okay, Justina Puller, you say 2nd September. Juan Carlos Sabido, September 2nd. Okay, Mahmud Peter, September. Okay, thanks. So, we look what's the answer. Ding, ding. Yes. World Coconut Day is celebrated every September. Good, good for it. Okay. Let's go to the first matter about coconut. The coconut trees has the scientific name Cocos nucifera. It is palm. It is a palm plant with a tall trunk. It can grow from 2 meters until 30 meters. The fruit is covered in the fiber and has a shell containing coconut meat and water. You can see at the screen the taxonomy of coconut is kingdom, kingdom, subkingdom, subdivision, degree, class, subclass, family, genus, and species. The name cocos comes from the Latin word coco, which means hairy fruit that has 3 holes in its shell, which are like cocoa, pile of eyes, and a monkey nose. This name was coined by sailor on a Portuguese ship. All coconuts are made up of 3 layers. The exterior of the coconut is called the exocarp. Include outer skin, that's smooth, greenish color, Then there is mesocarp, include fiber hard, and endocarp, include shell and hard woody. The coconut plants grow well in tropical areas between 23.5 north latitude and 23.5 south latitude, and are most ideal in areas located in the equator. Coconut is an important and popular plant for people in Southeast Asia, the Pacific, Africa, America, and the Caribbean. For America and the Caribbean, coconuts can be found mainly in Southern Latin America, such as Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and Costa Rica, and Southern North America, such as Mexico and the Florida Peninsula. Overall, coconut grow in 93 countries in the world, with the growth centers such as in Indonesia, Philippines, Melanesia, and India. Okay, let's look at the second fun fact. I don't think this is a fun fact. The fact is, falling coconut kill 150 people every year, 3 times the number of the people killed by shark. So be careful if you are near coconut trees. It may not be about the size of the fruit, but a tall coconut tree will produce a large gravitation force that can injure our human hair. Next, we need to call a coconut diversification case. It's released by Ministry of Industry Indonesia. Coconut is a multifunction plant known as tree of life because almost a part of the plant are useful for human life. Starting with fruit, leaves, and trees, there are so many benefits. The fruit part, which consists coconut meat, coconut water, shell, and fiber, also has added value. This causes coconut to have many product diversification. This tree diversification, you can see at the screen, coconut tree, consists coconut leaf, coconut, then coconut trunk. Coconut leaf can produce to a craft eco-friendly packaging. The coconut can produce to coconut fiber, and consists coconut fiber to produce hardboard, furniture, gelato, craft. And coconut water can to produce nata de coco, vinegar, soy sauce, coconut juice. And coconut meat can make to cosmetic, cooking oil, sweet coconut oil, and so also copra. And coconut shell can produce the cocoa, charcoal, and activated carbon. Okay. The diversification of coconut has global market prospects, like coconut milk, chocolate chip, desiccated coconut, coconut peat, coconut vinegar, frozen coconut meat, nata de coco, virgin oil, and etc. So, here are several details of coconut product diversification that have high business prospects. Okay, we start from desiccated coconut. Desiccated coconut, or what is known as dry grated coconut, is the result of processing of coconut meat. It is grown by chopping or grating without adding other ingredients and then dried hygienically. Quality desiccated coconut is characterized by its pure white color and relative plain lines from other colors, yellow, brownish, or black, and has a distinctive pure coconut aroma and is maintained as a uniform size and is free from other materials. Meanwhile, based on fat content, they are divided into desiccated coconut full fat and desiccated coconut low fat. Dry grated coconut is often used as an ingredient in food mixtures such as biscuits, cakes, ensue. Apart from that, dry-grade coconut can also be reprocessed into various food products such as coconut flour, cream coconut, toasted coconut, sweet coconut, and coconut chips. Okay. Next, we see coconut milk. Coconut milk is a white emulsion of coconut oil in water obtained by fresh coconut milk that has been creamed or crushed with or without the addition of water. Coconut milk has a fatty taste that can be used as a flavoring to make dishes savory. Coconut milk contains three main nutrients: fat, protein, and carbohydrate. Coconut milk is made by grating the coconut milk and then pressing into the extract the milk. Coconut milk is a food ingredient that easy to make. On an industrial scale, to increase the usability of coconut milk, a sterilization process is carried out to produce sterile coconut milk in cans, Tetra Pak, or written pouch. The coconut milk sterilization process is carried out with hot water steam or ultra high temperature. Okay, next, copra. Copra is produced from coconut meat, which is dried under the sun or using an artificial dryer by means of smoking or indirect heating. Copra is generally used as a basic ingredient in the cooking oil and fat industry. In the coconut oil and fat industry, the quality of copra determines the quality of the final product of coconut oil and fat produced. The quality of copra is largely determined by the drying process. In the general, there are two types of copra, black copra and white copra. What is the black copra? The black copra is a raw material for coconut oil. The coconut flesh that has been separated from the shell is then dried until it is black by drying in the sun or smoking. Drying to get black copra takes 5 to 7 days or more, depending on the weather, with an average temperature of 600 degrees Celsius. In other side, the white copra has quite low water content. So white copra is relatively free from fungus attack. Its color is whiter and cleaner. And the main tool for making white copra is an oven or artificial dryer. If white copra is processed into coconut oil, it will produce very clear and high quality coconut oil. Apart from being used as cooking oil, the oil produced from white copra is used to mix oil to produce margarine, cosmetics, perfume, soap, moisturizer, ice cream, pharmaceutical ingredient, and other industrial ingredients. Okay. Now we will talk about VCO, virgin coconut oil. VCO is coconut oil obtained by extraction or pressing at a temperature of no more than 100 Celsius, so that the resulting oil is clear in color like water and nutritional content. Aroma of coconut are well maintained. VCO has a higher economic value, more expensive than other types of coconut oil. Usually used as a raw material for cosmetics, it is also consumed directly as a high-calorie nutritional intake. Basically, the extraction technique for virgin coconut oil or VCO can be done using two methods: wet method and dry method. The wet method uses liquid coconut milk as a raw material. The oil from liquid coconut milk is extracted by sedimentation, fermentation, or using a centrifuge. After that, the oil which has been separated from the water and other solids is transferred to the filter so that it's not clear. And the dry method is done by grating and drying the coconut milk so that the water content is below 3%. Drying must be done at temperature below 60 degrees Celsius so that the coconut does not turn yellow. Next, the grated coconut is compressed using hydraulic power so that the oil comes out. Coconut oil. Coconut oil can be divided into non-RBD coconut oil and RBD coconut oil. RBD is fine, bleached, and deodorant. Non-RBD coconut oil is produced by heating coconut milk for a long period of time so that the water content in the milk evaporates and the coconut oil appear on the surface of the container. Next, the coconut oil on the surface is collected little by spoon. And as a result of this long heating process, the oil produced is brownish yellow in color, but it's a very strong coconut aroma. So it is often used to cook special Indonesia cuisine with coconut aroma. Meanwhile, RBD, coconut oil is obtained from frozen copra. It is usually there and blended with high free fatty acid content. When the copra at high temperature, the coconut oil is obtained, which is then prepared so the RBD process can be used as cooking oil. As a result of this RBD process, the coconut oil looks clear and more bright in color, but the coconut aroma can barely be smelled. This product is Nata de coco. Nata de coco is the result of the fermentation of coconut water with acetic acid bacteria, namely Acetobacter selinum. These bacteria can live in the coconut water and also in fruit, which contain glucose, which is then converted into cellulose and released on the cell surface. A layer of cellulose forms on the surface of the fruit juice, so that eventually becomes thick, and it's called nata. Nata de coco, nata from cocoa. In making nata de coco, coconut water is used, which comes from the old coconuts. Coconut water that comes from young coconut cannot be used to produce nata de coco because it does not contain enough mineral needed for the growth and activity of Acetobacter selinum bacteria. Likewise, the treated coconut water contains excessive oil, which can inhibit the growth of Acetobacter selinum bacteria. Nata de coco is a good source that is high in dietary fiber, very fat-free, and without oil-free or cholesterol, which makes it suitable for consumption when dieting. Briquettes are coconut briquettes. Briquettes are charcoal that has been further processed so that it's a high absorption rate for material in the form of solvent of pink. Briquettes handmade from coconut shell charcoal have several advantages, such as not producing smoke, producing a high level of heat, being environmentally friendly, and having a longer burning time. And the last, we know coconut fiber. About 30% of the total weight of a coconut comes from the coconut fiber. Part is often used as raw material for making brooms, doormats, ropes, and other household tools. On an industrial scale, coconut fiber is used as raw material for making carpet, vehicle seats, mattress, pillow, headboard, rubber fiber, etc. Coconut fiber processing includes softening, beating, and defibrinating. Based on this process, long and smooth white fiber are obtained from unripe coconut husks that are not yet old enough. These fibers can be spun into thread and assembled in carpet, cleaning cloth, ropes, and nets. From all coconuts, you can get long brown fiber and short fiber. Long fiber are used to make broom and brush, while short fiber are used to make doormat or latex is made into sheet. The sheet can use for bed covering, car seat, or soundproofing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Those are some of diversification of coconut products. Some can be produced by us, which can be done to improve our economy. Next, we need to know what important principle we must pay attention if we want to build a small coconut agro-industry. Okay, the next, my colleague, Mrs. Khairul Nadia, will explain you soon. Okay, Miss Nadia, please you turn now.
Thank you. Lanjut. Thank you so much, Mrs. Irna. Now I'll present to you the third point, which is analysis on designing coconut agro-industry. Agro-industry has an important role in accelerating the transformations of the economy from an agricultural structure to an industrial structure. According to Austin, agro-industry can contribute significantly to the economic development of a country for the following four reasons, as you can see on your own screen. So the first is the agro-industry individually will have a positive impact on the development of the national agricultural sector. The second, it will also make a positive contribution to the development of the manufacturing sector. The third is agro-industrial products are basically the main sector in a country. And the last, the agro-industrial sector, which processes agricultural commodities into food, is a source of nutrition for the country's prosperity in the context of human development. The next is, next, Ms. Irna. Okay, this is the example of a coconut agro-industry design flow using 100 kilograms of coconut as raw material to produce several diversified products that can be implemented in the form of a small-scale industry. It is as follows. So, with 100 kilograms of coconuts can be further processed with coir stripping, then we can produce coir fiber about 18.75 kilograms. Then, if we are breaking the coconut, then we can obtain the coconut water, and from it, we can produce nata de coco about 28 kilograms. Again, if we are talking the coconut meat, from its shells, we can produce it to be a charcoal briquette. Plus, with 31 kilograms of coconut meat, then we will do the grading. We can produce 5.27 kilogram coconut oil or 6.51 kilogram coconut powder. Further, if we continue to dry the graded coconut, we can obtain the desiccated coconut about 6.3 kilogram. So as you can see, we can use the whole one coconut for our life. Then, in building an agro-industry, various feasibility analysis need to be executed. You can see in the following slide. This is the feasibility analysis in building coconut agro-industry. For the first is situational analysis of the coconut agro-industry. As an industry that processes raw materials from agricultural process, the most important things that must be considered are product quality, the amount of raw materials currently available, and their potential availability in the future. So we have to take much attention on the availability of the raw materials. The second, the technical analysis. This analysis is useful for identifying the process to be accomplished, the amount of raw materials needed for each process, the equipment required, and estimating the intermediate and final result that will be obtained. And then the third is economic analysis. An analysis of economic aspects needs to be performed to see the impact of the development of an industry on the economic of the surrounding community. In this economic aspect, the impact on increasing income and consumption, regional economic growth, and reducing unemployment will be seen. The fourth is social analysis. Apart from having an impact on economic aspects, agro-industrial development will also have an impact on social aspect and the surrounding environment. Of course, analysis of the social aspect includes describing the community's willingness to accept agro-industry development in their regions. So we have to take care of the community itself. And then the fifth is management analysis. According to Husnan and Suarsono, this is the expert, things that need to be studied in this aspect are management during the agro-industrial development period, which includes the implementations of activities, project completion schedules, the person in charge of studying its aspect, and operations management. Operations management itself includes the form of organizations or business entity chosen, organizational structure, job description and job specification, and the number of workers to be used. The sixth is market analysis. In market aspect analysis, what is studied is how to understand the shape of the market, projected demand and supply, market share that might be achieved, consumer behavior, and marketing strategies to achieve that market share. Seventh, financial analysis. A financial aspect analysis is carried out to examine the flow of money starting from the initial investment, annual cost, annual benefits, and break-even points. So we have 7 points here that you have to be analyzed. And then the next slide is the last slides for us. This is the fun fact again. This is the fun fact number 3. Scouting in Indonesia has a flag with a coconut shoot symbol. So the Scout emblem incorporates the seed of the coconut palms, a common native Indonesian plant, and all parts of which are used in Indonesia everyday life, symbolizing the philosophy of a true Scout who must make him or himself useful in all aspects of life. So in the future, they will grow tall and become useful human beings like the coconut trees. That's all I offer to Mrs. Rosa.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Nadia. Dear audience, we have listened to a brief explanation about the great potential for the development of coconuts into various high-value products. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat column first, because we will soon continue with the second topic, which will be presented by Mrs. Mariam about Nata the cocoa production. So we invite Dr. Mariam to share her screens. Dr. Mariam, now you may have the floor.
Okay, good evening from Indonesia and good morning for all participants in Caribbean countries. My name is Mariam. Welcome to my presentation. It's great to see you all. Thank you for joining us today. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is Nata the cocoa production. Product introduction. Nata de coco is originally from the Philippines. In Indonesia, Nata de coco was introduced in 1975. Nata de coco is fiber or cellulose which is produced from coconut water through a fermentation process involving the bacterium Acetobacter psyllium. Nata de coco is bacterial cellulose which has slightly chewy texture. Nata de coco is also called bacterial cellulose. Product characteristics. Nata de coco is a low-calorie food product. In general, in the market, Nata de coco has a white color, has a chewy texture, is tasteless and transparent, resembling a gel. Nata de coco has cellulosa as its main ingredient. There are several advantages that cellulosa has, including high purity, high degree of crystallinity, having a high density, high tensile strength, and elasticity. The product types. Making nata can utilize substrates such as pineapple, toffee dregs, and coconut water, which are fermented aerobically with the help of microbes. The name nata is usually taken from the substrate used, such as nata de pine, which is the substrate for pineapple. Nata de coco use coconut water as a substrate. Nata de tomato, which comes from tomatoes, and nata de aloe vera, which comes from aloe vera. As seen the picture, nata de coco products sold in the market with various shapes, such as nata seed and ready-to-consume nata pieces. Nata is consumed together with various food and drink with various flowers. Product benefit. The benefit of nata de coco is that it has a high fiber content and low calorie content, making it suitable for diet food and good for the digestive system. Nata de coco is consumed together with a fruit as a food dessert. And nata de coco can be used as a filler for ice cream, fruit cocktail, yogurt, and so on. The nutrition content of nata de coco can be seen in the table. The water content is 80%, carbohydrate 20 grams, calorie 146 calorie, fat 20 grams, calcium 12 milligram, phosphorus 2 milligram, iron 0.5 gram. Product quality standard. The quality requirement for packaged nata are according to the Indonesian National Standard, SNI, which can be seen in the table. Now, we will discuss how to producing nata de coco. The raw material, there are coconut water, starter, or bacterial culture Acetobacter cinerum, urea, sugar, acetic acid or vinegar, alcohol. Machine and equipment, there are 4 cooking process equipment. There are stainless steel pan, gas stove, plastic funnel, plastic filter, stirrer, and plastic strainer to filter out impurities. For fermentation equipment, there are transparent glass bottle, transparent plastic pan, plastic funnel, paper, rubber, and fermentation cell. For collecting and harvesting equipment, there are plastic jerrycan, plastic drum, nata cutting machine. For measuring equipment, there are scale or analytical balance, measuring cup, and electrical pH meter. For cleaning equipment, there are bottle brush, washing sponge, and sweep and brush. Production step. The first step, starter production. Starter is culture of Acetobacter cinerum bacteria. The starter can be made in laboratory or simple. The composition of the starter media is the same as the composition of the fermentation media used in making nata de coco. Starter media is adjusted at pH 4 until 4.5 by adding vinegar and then sterilize for 15 minutes or until boiling. Starter can be made by adding 10 ml of pure bacteria culture into 100 ml of starter medium and then fermenting for 4 days. Next step, preparation of fermentation medium. Strain the coconut water with a strainer to separate the dirt and then pour into the pot. Add granulated sugar 30 grams per liter and urea 4 grams per liter. Stir until dissolved, then boil until boiling for 15 minutes. Remove any foam and dirt that appears during boiling, then discard. Add 10 ml of vinegar per liter of coconut water into the medium solution. Stir until smooth and then remove from the stove. Pour 1 liter for fermenting medium into a clean transparent tray while it is still hot. Cover the container with clean paper, then seal it with rubber. Cool the fermentation media about 2 until 3 hours until the temperature is 28 until 30 degrees Celsius, because the starter nata will die if added when the media temperature is still high. Next step, inoculation of nata seed or adding starter to the medium. Open the paper that cover one corner of the container until it is wide enough. Pour the nata seed into the media as much as 100 ml per liter of media. Close the container as before, then tie it back. Next step, fermentation medium. Transport the container containing the media that has been given a nata starter to the fermentation room and then store it properly. Containers can be staked on the floor or self-ferment regularly for smooth air circulation and stable temperature. Position the container as flat as possible. If it is slanted, the thickness of the resulting nata is not the same because the shape of the nata will follow the media. Containers also should not be disturbed so that the growth of nata is not disturbed. If the media is shaken, the nata foam will be layered. Ferment for 7 until 8 days with room temperature fermentation around 28 until 30 degrees Celsius. The success rate of the fermentation process range from until 80 until 60%, depending on the sterilization of the production set. Whether it's also an important success factor because room in temperature is very necessary in the fermentation process. This is the picture for fermentation medium. The last step, harvesting. After being fermented for 7 until 8 days, or the media is in the container runs out, nata is ready to be harvested with a thickness of 1.5 centimeter. Nata de coco is cut into small pieces with a Nata cutting machine or tool with a size according to the aesthetic of the product is one mouthful. Nata de coco is then pressed or boiled many times to remove the acid. This at least Nata de coco is ready to be processed further. Packaging product Nata de coco. Nata de coco product can be packaged in the plastic made of polyester in the form of non-alufoil pouch packaging. Nata de coco can also be packaged in piles, plastic pots, plastic cups, and plastic pillow. Okay, then we will watch a video of Nata de coco production.
Weight of 23. Nata de coco production process. Next, we'll outline the process of making nata de coco. Using 2 liters of coconut water will yield a sheet of nata with a thickness of 1 until 1.5 centimeters, width of 23 centimeters, and length of 33 centimeters. The required raw material is coconut water. Ingredients needed include coconut water, acetic acid, sugar, and urea. Here are the necessary tools: stove, plastic container, strainer and muslin cloth, fermentation container, glass bottles for starter, rubber bands, plastic string, newspaper, nata packaging container. The process begins with sterilizing the workspace. Clean the work table and sanitize it with the alcohol. Rinse clean container with boiled water. Disinfect newspaper, plastic string, and the table with alcohol. Setting the composition of the starter medium to match the fermentation medium used in nata de coco production. Adjusting the starter medium to pH 4 until 4.5 by adding glacial acetic acid and sterilizing it for 15 minutes. Creating the starter by inoculating 10 miles of pure bacterial culture into 100 miles of medium and fermenting it for 3 days. The main nata de coco production process includes straining coconut water to remove impurities and pouring it into a pot. Adding a granulated sugar and urea, 30 grams each per liter of coconut water, dissolving it and boiling for 15 minutes. Removing foam and impurities during boiling and discarding them. Adding 10 ml of acetic acid or vinegar per liter of coconut water to the medium, stirring well and removing it from heat. Pouring 1 liter of fermentation medium into a clean, transparent container while it's still hot. The nata starter will die if added when the medium is still hot. Opening the newspaper, covering one corner of the container wide enough. Pouring 100 ml of nata starter into the medium per liter. Closing the container as before and securing it. Ferment for 8 and 10 days at room temperature of 28 until 30 degrees Celsius. The harvesting process involves cutting nata de coco into small pieces or cubes using a nata cutting machines based on the desired product aesthetic. Pressing or boiling nata de coco multiple times to remove its acidity. This yields a sweet tasting nata de coco ready for further processing. Packaging Nata de coco products in polyester or PET plastic pouches. Alternatively, Nata de coco can be packed in pills, plastic pouches, plastic cups, and plastic pillow containers.
Question you have about Nata de coco production.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. After we know about the comprehensive processes of producing Nata de coco. Oh, sorry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after we know about the comprehensive processes of producing Nata de coco, now it's time to have a discussion with our trainers. We are glad to receive many questions. If you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand to ask directly to the trainers, or you may have type in the chat rooms. So we have the first questions from Natasha. Thank you, Natasha. The questions is, which of the product has the highest economic values? What interesting questions. So may I answer the question first? Then maybe other colleague maybe add the questions. Okay, Natasha, it depends on the market request or market demands in your areas. If we have to choose what product to be produced from the coconut, maybe I can give you some advice. We know that from the coconut we will have a much variety of coconut products, but if you can see in our explanation before, we have virgin coconut oil that we know it has a high content of healthy saturated fat, so that this can be used to boost fat burning and good to our excellence in healthy and also in for the anti-aging, antibacterial, and we know that this PCO has a high value. If we can search in the internet, we know that the value of PCO is about 4 until 5 USD per liter. So if we want to produce the PCO for 1 liter of PCO, we can make it from 25 of coconuts. So if we can calculate the how many models that we have to spend to make a PCO for 1 liter. Yeah, we have to 25 coconuts. Then it depends on the coconuts price in your areas, and you can compare to the PCO price per liter. So we can, if in our areas in Indonesia, PCO have a varied price. It depends on its concentration also. So you can make it, which market do you want to sell your product? That's from my opinions. Okay, thank you, Nastasia. If you have another response or other question, just feel free to ask here. Thank you.
For the questions from Daniel Sampson, is the starter sold online? So I have done some research and I will share you. Yes, if we do the shopping in Indonesia, you can get the starter online freely from the internet. You can see. It's depends on your area. Yeah, if in Indonesia we can get it online. Thank you.
I'm sorry, we have this question from Mr. Edgar White. May I see Mr. Edgar? Mr. White asks about what stage of coconut water is used, 7 months or 9 months. Can you explain your questions more clearly? Thank you.
Mrs. Ocha?
Yes.
Have we answered the question from Edgar White?
Okay, Mrs. Rosalina, I think what Mr. Edgar means is when you want to cultivate, when you want water,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, the age
Thank
of
you.
the
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Niken. Yeah, I see the explanation for that. Mr. Edgar, so for what's raw material for coconut water if you want to produce it? If there's no rains or whatever whatever the coconut maturity, we can use it for the nata de coco. Is that clear, Mr. Edgar? So we don't have to see it's a 7 months or 8 months or 9 months. We can use it for as a raw material for the making nata de coco. Okay, thank you, Mr. Edgar. Another question, please. Okay, I think it's all clear. And if you have another question, maybe about the nata de coco processing method that is not clear, or you have another explanation, or maybe you want to sharing your experience, maybe from this participant, maybe have experience to make the nata de coco. May you share with us? Thank you. Maybe the participant want to ask directly to the trainers. It's okay, just raise your hand and unmute your microphone so you can say something. Maybe anyone who want to share about producing nata de coco? And how can you get the virgin oil to not have a bad skin sense? Yes, it's a good question. Actually, the virgin oil, we have like yes, it's a bad sense. So how we have to get the virgin oil with nice sense like that? Maybe wants to answer this question? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Diana Charles. Is it right? The virgin oil, we can be indicate that this virgin oil are success is when the harvesting. So it harvesting in 24 hours. Yeah, more than 24 hours, it may have a bad scent for the VCO. But for the more details about the VCO producing, we can share it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll like to see you on tomorrow. Mrs. Juliet Moore, do you want to see the process in more detail? May I ask you questions? What process that you mean? The Nata de coco or the PCO, maybe? I'm sorry, you still mute your microphone.
I have it. The Nata de coco. That's the process. Hi, morning to everyone. Sorry. That's the process I would like to see. Yeah.
Nata de coco process.
Yes, please.
Okay, maybe we can start to the video again. Okay.
Excuse me, Mrs. Ocha. Hello, excuse me, Mrs. Ocha. And in the WhatsApp group, I think Mrs. Niken have post the link for the streaming this location. So please check your WhatsApp group description, and we will find the YouTube or streaming for this training. So you could repeat to watch the video you have shown before. Thank you, Mrs. Ocha.
Mrs. Juliet Moore, and do you join in WhatsApp group with us?
Yes, I have. I'm in the WhatsApp group.
Yes, can you see the link tree in the WhatsApp group, the descriptions? Can you see maybe this? Okay. Can you click that link tree and you can see the video records?
I'm trying to
see.
I don't see it yet.
Video.
No.
Good morning, everyone. Juliet is actually there. I just went on and I actually saw us there in the video recording. So I guess when we're finished here, we could go back to the link and you could watch it over from there because I just went and I saw it as well. I'm in Barbados
Okay,
as
beautiful.
well.
Right, thank you very much, Sam. Beautiful.
Welcome
you.
much.
Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any question, maybe. About Nata de coco? You maybe want to share about a coconut product in your areas. Maybe we don't have familiar about what products of coconuts that may be more viral, yeah, in the your areas. Maybe we can see it or know it. Anyone? Okay. Is there any questions? Okay, so we can back. So we are so glad to receive so many questions for all participants. I'm sorry, Mrs. Juliet Moore, do you want to have a question?
Not so much a question as I find in Barbados, we don't have, well, maybe it's that I don't know. We don't have much use for the coconut of itself, the as a byproduct. And so what you guys doing with it now is like, all we do is sell the coconut water and probably sell the jelly. But as a byproduct, like I see online with the cocoa peat, which is really good for agriculture, which is my field. I don't see it being used here on that level. I don't know if I can answer the question when you ask if we use it here to that degree, but I don't find that we do. I feel we should find more use for it instead of just having it at the side of the road. Yeah, that's my piece.
I'd like to make an intervention, actually. But you call it just now. I'm also from Barbados, and I think that we in Barbados need a lot more self-intervention vis-a-vis the coconut sector, because as the previous caller said, we only use the coconut right now mostly for fresh water, and then everything else is almost dumped. And it's a huge resource that we waste. And part of the problem will be education, having more workshops like this to a broader audience. And then the other challenge we would probably have is financing, or how do you do microfinancing or small financing to start, doing cocoa peat, coconut milk, coconut oil. But this kind of workshop is really good, but I would say we also need it out in a bigger audience. We have a huge, huge way to go in terms of what the Asian world is doing with coconut.
Thank you for your sharing, Mr. Mahmoud Patel. It's really support us, and we hope this training can more enjoyable, and we can share one another. So we hope this training of Nata de coco, any one of you will try to produce it in your home, maybe in your areas, so we can share another your barriers or your troubles when you try to make it. Hopefully we can make it. Okay, then yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end part of this day, this first day executive training of the coconut training programs for the Caribbeans. And before I close the sessions, I would like to say thank you very much. And I hope we can see you all tomorrow. And so see you tomorrow, and thank you very much. Now over to you, Mrs. Niken. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Rosalina, for leading the discussion and presentation, and of course, it's very nice to see a very engaging interaction. I see that there is actually still a question from Roman. So maybe Mrs. Rosalina, your team will respond it for tomorrow, right? Because it's very generic question about the variety of coconut. So anyway, we are, right now it's already 8:32 p.m. Jakarta time zone. So we must conclude this training for today. So please join tomorrow at the same time. 7 p.m. Jakarta time zone. Of course, you will receive reminder through WhatsApp group. For those who have not joined the WhatsApp group, I will share the join link over here so that you can participate. Please don't leave the Zoom meeting immediately so that you can click the link to join the Zoom, the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Wishing you a good day, and for esteemed trainers, wishing you a good evening. See you tomorrow.
See you
See you
tomorrow. Thank
tomorrow.
you so much, all. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody.
Wednesday, big up yourself, Wednesday.